Hey everyone, welcome back to Online Art Enrichment. Today is day 32. For today's suggested art activity, we are going to be taking a look at illuminated manuscript letters and then creating some of our own. The word illuminated means to be filled with light. These letters were called illuminated because the artist used a material called gold leaf, which shines when the light hits it. These illuminated letters were used in a lot of writings in the medieval ages, which was around the late 400s to around the 1450s in the Common Era. Some of the most popular ones came from Ireland and England. An illuminated letter was usually the first letter of a page or paragraph. It was always bigger than all the other letters and was used in writings to make those writings look much more interesting and important. These letters were usually decorated with plants, animals, and mythological creatures. So now that we've learned a little bit about illuminated manuscript letters, let's go ahead and create one of our own. Okay, so this activity is sort of building off of yesterday's activity where we did the block letters and bubble letters. So you can choose any letter of the alphabet. I'm going to do J as in Miss Joe, but you can do any other letter that you want to. So I'm going to start out with my J. I'm going to draw it big on my paper like this. Make sure you do leave some room. Don't go all the way to the very top of your paper because we are going to add a border or edge around our drawing later on. So don't go all the way to the edge. Make sure you leave some space on all four sides. So with my J, these are my guidelines here. I'm going to end up erasing this later on, but we're going to use this to draw around. So I'm going to draw my line on the inside like this. I'm going to skip this part and come back to it in just a little bit. I'm going to trace around on the outside. So remember, I'm not touching these guidelines in the middle. There should be space in between. I'm going to come back to this top part in just a second and come back to this part right here. So illuminated letters are a little bit more swirly or curvy on the edges, whereas block letters are usually just straight, or bubble letters, they kind of just curve the ends like that. But these kind of swirl and curve a little bit more. They're a little bit more fancy and extravagant looking. So I'm just going to kind of curl it like this. I'm going to curl it on the other side and then come back. I'm going to come back to this top section right here and I'm going to kind of curve it out just a little bit like this. And then I'm going to connect it back like this. Before I do any sort of coloring, I'm going to erase my guideline in the middle just so it doesn't show up. Alright, I'm going to add some details to my letter. So like I mentioned earlier, some details that are usually added to an illuminated letter are plants, animals, or mythological creatures. I'm going to stick with just plants just to make it a little bit simpler. Plants include things like the leaves, the stems kind of curling around the letter. You can do yours however you would like to. So here is my finished illuminated letter. I'm going to go ahead and add a border around my letter and then I'm going to start coloring it. If you have a ruler, I would suggest using it so that you get some nice straight lines. If you don't have a ruler around, that's okay. Just do your best to create those straight lines. Take your time. completed illuminated letter. You can see that I added some leaves and vines to my letter. I added some little flowers down here. These are also leaf shapes on the ends of my letter. I just chose to color them in blue instead of green. You can of course use whatever colors you want when you're coloring your artwork. Also, I added this border around my letter, and you can use whatever sort of pattern or colors that you want for your border. I hope you guys had fun with today's art activity. You can always send me pictures of your artwork, and there are two ways to do that. You can, 1, email them to me, or 2, you can use that new Google form method where you fill out your name and your grade level, click on that Add File button and choose the pictures of your artwork that you want to upload. And then when you're finished with that, just click the Submit button. You do need to be logged in with either a Gmail account or your student Garland ISD email address in order to do that Google form method. If you have any issues with it, be sure to let me know because it is new and I am trying it out. Also, remember, you can always follow me on Twitter and subscribe to my YouTube channel to keep up to date with what I'm doing. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!